Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are starting a new topic called, first of all, welcome all of you. Good afternoon. Nice to see you back. Yeah. I hope
Good afternoon.
how your other modules have gone well? All good?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So today we start this hospitality module, and do you and does anybody know what is the meaning of hospitality? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by hospitality? Give me an example and tell me.
Helpfulness, ma'am.
Not exactly, but yes, okay, part of it, yes. The main, what is hospitality? When you say, when people come to your place, what is hospitality? What do you do? Say, suppose you have a guest at home, guest have come.
Entertaining the guests.
Entertaining that guest, correct. Looking after the guests, making sure they're comfortable, making sure they've eaten well, they've had something to drink. If they've come to stay, then you have to make sure that they have a proper room, they have a proper place, all the comforts are given. That is what you do at home. It's the same thing what is done by hotels. For friends, for relations, for strangers, it's done for everybody. So that is where hospitality is. So we are going to learn how we have to deal with hospitality. Okay? I need to share my screen with you all. Can you tell me what you all can see right now? Somebody please come on.
No, ma'am.
No?
We can see just you only, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you see
Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody's mic is on. Now can you see it?
Yes,
One person please, somebody.
Yes, ma'am. We can see the screen.
You can see introduction to hospitality industry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll be learning introduction today to hospitality industry. This is to do with hotels. It does not mean restaurants. Restaurants are small eating places where you just eat and go. These are called hotels. Hotels are big places where people come and stay for maybe a longer period or maybe a shorter period, maybe in between flights, maybe anything. These are the general icons for hospitality. The first icon, can anybody tell me what it means? This generally means porter, the person who comes to take your luggage. Right? When you enter the hotel, you have luggage when you're staying. The person who comes to take your luggage is the first person at the door. So this is the icon for him. We do not call him in hospitality, we do not call him porter, we say concierge. So write the spelling of concierge. It's a French word for porter. Do you know where is chat? Can anybody guide me? Do you know where is chat? Okay, I'll spell it for you all. C-O-N. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
C-O-N. C-I-E-R-G-E. I hope I'm not wrong. I'll just correct it and I'll just check and tell you again. Concierge. C-O-N. Yeah, I'm right. C-O-N-C-I-E-R-G-E. The literal meaning in French means a resident caretaker of a block of flats or a small hotel. But in this case, he is also a resident caretaker. He also sees to if you want to post anything, if you want to send a parcel, if you want to do, if you want guidance where to go around in the city, all this hospitality he explains to you, and he makes sure that your luggage reaches your room when you check in, and when you check out. It's called check-in and check-out. When you check out, he sees that your luggage is brought and loaded into your car. So it's taken from your car. These are luggage trolleys. You can see baggage piled up. This is the icon for the luggage trolleys. This is the icon for the hotel with many rooms. We have 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, 7-star hotels. Each depends on facilities and the space and the number of rooms and the number of amenities that you can give to your customers. It depends on that. The next one is the pool side. That means there is a pool. This is the umbrella and relaxing for the pool. So it is a pool side. So sometimes they have restaurants on the pool side where you can sit next to the pool and then you can have your meals. This means there is a pool. Again, you can go for swimming. This is like a typewriter. You can do your business. You can business center you can do, or you can do any kind of work. This is food room service. It's for room service, means you can order food inside your room on the phone and they will deliver it. They have taxi service for you to and from the airport to or wherever city, wherever you want to go. This is the bus, or the right word is called shuttle service. Shuttle, S-H-U-T-T-L-E, shuttle service to and from the airport. It shows an aircraft here, means it will take you at your time and drop you at the airport and pick you up from the airport too. This is again meals. You have restaurants, so you have meals. This is the rating for the hotels, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. This is also a restaurant icon where you can go down and have your meals. Generally 5 stars have a lot of restaurants down. You'll have a Chinese, you'll have Japanese, you'll have an Indian, so you can go down and eat. Bed, that's what they're offering you. Shower, what they're offering you. Hotel, this way. There's a television in each room, so they're offering you a television as well. So these are the amenities. Then you will have Wi-Fi. You will have business centers. Nowadays you have business centers where you can go and sit in this and conduct your business. So a lot of amenities the hotels have. The bigger the hotel, the more the amenities. So I'll read. Hospitality includes food and beverage. Beverage means drinks. Or any drink is called a beverage. That is the right word. And accommodation. The hotel industry is a part of hospitality industry. Just like when we have guests at home, your parents look after the guests very well. In the hotel, we are supposed to look after them as well. You get a lot of foreigners, a lot of Indian people, very rich people, very well-connected people, and film stars, and you have a lot of people, and you have to look after them very, very well. Hospitality is the relation between guest and host. Guests are the ones that stay there, hosts are the people who run the hotel, that is us. Or the act or practice of being hospitable. So, being hospitable means being nice. It does not mean being in a hospital. It means hospitable is to be nice to people. So, top 10 most tasty. You see the next word? You will pronounce it as cuisines. Not cuisines, cuisines. Cuisines means different kinds of meals. Like Japanese, Italian, Chinese, what you eat is a cuisine. So it's a style of cooking. So tasty cuisines in the world. For all the food fanatics out there, traveling is essential. If you want to taste everything the world has to offer. That is why we have rounded up some of the most resounding symphonies of flavor, the most colorful dishes, and the tasty bites. Here's your guide to the fascinating international cuisine. So we're not only going to learn about our hotels, we're also going to learn about the different type of cuisines that they offer us. These are the kind of hotels we have. We have heritage hotels, we have classified hotels, and we have Indian hotels. Heritage hotels. Heritage hotels are basically hotels which have a history. They may be a palace or a, most of this, if you go to Jaipur and Udaipur and all, you see all the palaces are now converted into hotels because they cannot afford the maintenance. So everything is it. Those are called heritage hotels. Very, very expensive, 7-star and above. So heritage hotels, you have heritage grand, heritage classic, heritage basic. Again, we have 4 types of this thing, this being the least. Then we have these 2, and then we have the. So heritage hotels has all these kinds. Then we come to star hotels. We have 5-star, deluxe, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. This again depends on the size of the hotel. It depends upon the amenities of the hotel. It depends upon what we are offering. Okay. License units. Nowadays people have a very short stay when they go to work. They don't want all these fancy 5-star hotels, and they don't want to spend because they sometimes want to just sleep and go away, or just 1 night, 2 night, do their work, whole day they are out, they just want a bed in the night and they want to go up. So for that, you have these licensed units, you have service apartments. So for service apartments are like, it could be a building with lot of apartments. It has just 1 room and kitchen. A small kitchen inside it. So you can make your own tea, coffee, or meal, whatever, if you like to cook your own food. You don't like the food in that particular place, you can book a service apartment. Are you guys understanding or not? Please answer, one of you at least.
We are getting you, ma'am.
You're getting me? Thank you. Then you have timeshare resorts, like you must have heard of Mahindra and Mahindra. These are timeshare. This you pay a large lump sum and become a member of this timeshare, and they have resorts all over the world, and all over India, all over the world. So you can book your time. Say you want to go in, say, 2021 May. You want to go on a holiday. Your children are having leave, the parents are having leave. So you want to go for a holiday. So you can book 4 or 5 days in whichever resort they own. You can book it there. So this is called timeshare resorts. Okay. So the money that you paid entitles you. If you're not a member, you cannot utilize this. You cannot just pay and get in. These are only on membership. Then you have B&B establishment, bed and breakfast. Means they give you a bed, and in the morning the breakfast is free. There's just bed and breakfast, no meals, no lunch, no dinner, nothing. So that is just to sleep and go up. There are other license units. It could be more also. It could be a flat. It could be 2-bedroom. These are other units which also you can rent. So, then you have Indian hotels. You have unclassified hotels. You have branded hotels like Oberoi, Sheraton, Marriott. Unclassified are the smaller ones, and other small players which you see near the airport. You have small hotels where people, not too expensive, but people can go and sleep the night. If they have a connecting flight, say they're coming today and their flight is tomorrow, and they have to spend 1 night, and instead of sitting out anywhere, they go and take a smaller hotel and just sleep. So you can opt for that as well. Definition of a hotel. A hotel is an establishment that provides lodging, usually on a short-term basis. Lodging means staying on a short-term basis. The word derives from the French hotel, which originally refers to a French version of townhouse, not a place offering accommodation. The French spelling with a circumflex is used in English but is noun. So hotel is the same spelling as the French one, except on the O there is a small circumflex on O, hotel, to make it hotel. So it's basically a townhouse, meaning a guest house where people used to come to stay. It started from that. Hotels differ from motels. There are also motels, remember that. Sometimes you don't see many motels here, but especially if you travel abroad tomorrow, and when you go abroad, you'll see when you're traveling long distance, like suppose you're traveling from, say, here to Bangalore, Kerala to Bombay, like long distance, on the highway, you'll see these motels. They are only rooms to sleep, and for the night, you just go, rest, and leave in the morning. Food, not sure whether you can get a food or not, depends upon the motel. But these are small, they could be only one floor, you can park your car and you can sleep. They are maximum first floor, up to first floor. They are called motels. You see a lot of motels in USA. So motels are the most, motels have drive-up, means you can drive your car and just go and sleep and remove it. Exterior entrances to the rooms.
Yes, ma'am.
See, like this, ground floor and first floor. Okay, this is all. These are all motels in USA. You can see motels. You can just go here and stay in these motels for one night. You can park your car here and stay here. Rooms are in a line. All these doors are rooms. It's just basic rooms. So these are the motels. Motels have, where hotels tend to have interior entrances to the rooms. In the hotel, you cannot see the entrance towards the rooms. They are inside. There are only windows outside. In a motel, you'll see the doors outside. That is the difference. Hotels are provided a number of additional guest services, such as a restaurant, swimming pool, childcare. Some hotels have conference services and encourage groups to hold conventions and meetings at their location. They have these halls where you can have a convention or a meeting. Most of the hotels, advertise for that so that they can get more people. The cost and quality of hotels are usually indicative of the range and type of services available. So cost will go up as per amenities go up. 5-star ratings are also very, very high. It could be like in Bombay, it would be probably more than 20,000 per night. So depending on the location, depending on the amenities, everything. Due to enormous increase in tourism worldwide during the last decades of the 20th century, standards, especially those of smaller establishments, have improved considerably. Most of the people are not willing to pay that kind of money overnight, unless of course they're very rich. So what they prefer, smaller places which are clean enough and which will give you a night's sleep and to go. So the smaller hotels have started now also introducing smaller things like meals, Wi-Fi, television, so that more people utilize smaller hotels. For the sake of comparability, rating systems have been introduced, with 1 to 5 stars classification being most. You have ratings, you have stars, so 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. Basic accommodation of a room with a bed, a cupboard, a small table, a washstand, one has been largely replaced by rooms with en-suites, bathrooms. En-suite is a huge bathroom. Other features found may be telephone, television, alarm clock. Food and drink may be supplied by a small refrigerator. There is usually a small refrigerator in the 5-star rooms. Also, they have a small facility, a kettle to make your first cup of tea, so you don't have to call up the room service and wait for your tea. You can just make yourself a cup of tea. They give you a cup of tea, they give you a couple of snacks and a couple of drinks, which you have to pay for if you use them. It will be in the fridge. They also give you tea bags, sugar, creamer to make a cup of tea. They also give you an ironing board and iron if you want to iron your clothes. So that facility also. They have a mini bar. They have alcoholic drinks as well as non-alcoholic drinks, for which both you have to pay when you check out, whatever you have consumed from the mini bar. These are 5-star luxury hotels. This is Radisson. You would in Mumbai. Then you have others like Sheraton, many New Delhi. Again, you may have 200, 300 rooms. You have a pool here. You have restaurants always here. You have parking. You have restaurants on top as well. And all the facilities inside. Okay, so this is your basic 5-star hotel. Taj Palace, Delhi. This is the kind. Then you have your, show you a 4-star hotel room. This will be your 4-star hotel room. You have a bed, a phone, Wi-Fi of course. You have a work table. You have television. You have a chair to sit. And this side would be your closet to keep your clothes, keep your shoes. This is for your luggage. So all this is with a double room with 2 beds. Again, same facilities. There's a balcony here. Same facilities here also. So hotel are a little smaller, as you saw the 5-star. These are a little smaller. These are 4-star hotels. Okay, are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we come to 3-star. Again, smaller than that, probably like this, very small 3-star in Thane. So 3-star room will be also smaller. You will have the basic bed. You won't have much facility. Normally, Wi-Fi and television is given by everybody, so that's not a problem. Only it won't be as luxurious as the other ones. You have 2-star. Again, very small, as you can see, Kathmandu or 10 months. This is very small. 2-star hotels will be like this. Are also will be very small. Basic rooms. Though this is showing you a big room, it's not that much. It's very basic. Since this is in Bangkok, it is probably a little more luxurious than normal, but otherwise they are very small. Okay. These are different kinds of service apartments. Hold on, please. It will be regular apartments, luxury service. Some may be luxurious, some may be not. Some will be like this, and you'll probably have a small kitchenette as well. So these are big. I'll show you small. It will be like this, with a small kitchenette for you to make your tea, coffee, a small fridge, TV, bed, and there must be a bed this side, or maybe this could be made into a bed. So these are these are service apartments that you can rent out for a month, you can rent out for a day, you can rent out anytime. So these are, okay, so we all got that part of it. Now we come to this classification of hotels. This is a 5-star hotel again, Ramada. So how do we classify them? Classification is based on many criteria, and classifying hotels into different types is not an easy task. The hotel industry is so vast that many hotels do not fit into single well-defined categories. Industry can be classified in various ways based on location and the size of property. It depends on where it is situated and how big it is. The main hotel chains of India are Taj Group, Oberoi Group, ITC, Welcome Group. Some international chains are Hyatt, Marriott, Le Méridien, etc. These properties have also now come up in India. Based on location, in the city center, generally located in the heart of the city within short distance from business center, shopping arcades, rates are normally high due to their location advantage. They have high traffic on weekdays and the occupancy is generally high. So people who want to stay for a longer time and want to shop and want to be near business center will prefer a hotel which is in the city center. Example, Taj Mahal in Mumbai is right in the city center in town where all the offices are placed. So it's right in the center. Motels, these are located primarily on highways. I showed you the motels. They're always on highways for long distance travelers. They provide lodging to highway travelers and also provide ample parking space. They have a lot of parking space. You can park cars, trucks, anything. The length of the stay is usually only overnight. It's only for overnight. Nobody stays in a motel longer than that. Suburban hotels, they are located in suburban areas. It generally have high traffic on weekend because people are working on weekends. So if not down in suburban also, they will face a lot of traffic. It is ideal for budget travelers. People who do not have a big budget, they can use it. In this type of hotel, rates are moderately low. So it is less than the city center rates. Then we come to airport hotels. These hotels are set up near by the airport. They have transit guests who stay over between flights. So sometimes you have a connecting flight to catch, which is more than 24 hours later, or maybe 12 hours or 18 hours. Some people like to go to a hotel and sleep it out. So there are lots, and you'll see at any airport, you'll find a lot of airport hotels. So people can utilize that. Next is resort hotels. I explained to you that these are also termed as health resort or beach resort. So it could be a beach resort, it could be on mountain top, it could be on health where you can go and rejuvenate yourself. So depending on their position and location. They cater a person who wants to relax, enjoy themselves at a hill station. Most resort work to full capacity during peak seasons. So they are full in capacity during peak seasons, like the holidays, the winter holidays, the summer holidays, etc. Sales and revenue fluctuate from season to season. So they may have a lot of people during the season. Some seasons they may have slack, they may have no people at all. So it depends. Then you have floating hotels. As the name implies, these big hotels are established on luxury liners or ship. You have on the ship, it is located on the river, sea, big lakes. These floating hotels may be at it may be parked at one place or it may be moving also. It could take you around also, like a cruise. In cruise ships, rooms are generally small and all furniture is fixed down. It has a long stay guest. So people who go on a cruise pay for about 15 days to... It's right in the middle of the water. This is Udaipur, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Palace, Udaipur Palace. It's a palace hotel. It's a heritage hotel which is converted and a floating hotel. This is not a heritage hotel, but it's a floating hotel. You can stay here, and come back to the shore again. Again, floating hotels. These are like parked hotels, not moving. Correct? So, again, hotel. It is at one place, here in the water. Maldives. Again, floating hotels. Then you have cruise liners. This is a cruise liner hotel. It may be having 500 to 1,000 rooms, 1,200 rooms, depending on how big the ship is. People who stay here, it's very, very expensive. People who stay here go on a cruise for say 15 days, 20 days, month, depends on that. It has every possible facility inside, right from 3 to 4 pools. It has bars, it has restaurants, it has spas, it has rooms, it has everything together in the. So you can see here, you can see a pool here, you can see a garden here. So it depends on what kind of cruise liner it is. They sail from many different points, major cities. You can see there's a roller coaster here, and these are all the rooms. These are the decks where you can probably come and sit and have a drink or have a cup of tea or whatever. Again, huge, must be having more than 1,000 rooms. These are cruise liners. So these are also, you have a lot of people, they require a huge amount of staff, and the staff again here has to sail for 3 months, very well paid also. So if you are like a hotel, you can join this as well. So these are floating hotels. Then you come to hotels. A houseboat is referred to as hotel. I'm sure you all know, most of you are from Kerala. The Shikara boats in India, I hope I said it right, which offers luxurious accommodation to travelers. You all know people live in boats in the backwaters of Kerala, and same in the Shikaras of Kashmir. So they are called hotels. Then you have hotels. The novel variant are hotels on wheels. Our very own Palace on Wheels. Have you seen the train Palace on Wheels? That is a special train which takes you all over Rajasthan, and it is supposed to be a hotel. You just travel in the train, you have every facility in the train. I'll show it to you again. And Deccan Odyssey are the trains providing luxurious hotel atmosphere. Their interior is done like a hotel room. They are normally used by a small group of travelers. So let's see what a Palace on Wheels. Let's see our Palace on Wheels. Okay, this is the train, Palace on Wheels. This is the interiors where you can meet up. This is a typical room on the train. This takes you all around. This is your where you can have your lunch and dinner, lounge, the bar on the train. So all these facilities you will be having on this hotel. It's called a hotel. It's a luxurious train. This is the other one, the Deccan Odyssey. Again, your meal, your restaurant, room, so you got an idea what it is now. These are your hotels. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Then
Yes, ma'am.
based, so you have to know all these things by the name, and like hotels, what is this thing, you have to know all that. So please study that in your free time. Based on size of the property, the main yardstick for categorization of hotel is by size, the number of rooms available in the hotel. So it depends on the number of rooms available. Small hotel with 100 rooms or less may be termed as small hotel. Medium-sized hotel should have 100 to 300 rooms. Large hotels should have more than 300 rooms. Mega hotels are those hotels with 1,000 rooms. Chain hotels are the group that have hotels in many locations in India and international venues. So like today, if you take, Marriott Hotel, you will find that all over in India, in the mega cities like Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Kerala, everywhere, in each mega city in the north as well. And also with that, you will see Marriott in different countries in the world as well. You will see in each and every country, it will have one hotel, and that's called a chain hotel. The next categorization is based on the level of service. Hotels may be classified into economy and luxury hotels on the basis of level of service they offer. Economy budget hotels, these hotels meet the basic need of the guest by providing comfortable and clean room for a comfortable stay. So budget hotels won't have a lot of facilities. It will just give you a clean bed and a toilet and just nothing else, just to stay a comfortable stay. Mid-market hotels, it's a suite hotel that offers a small living room with appropriate furniture and a small bedroom with king-size bed. So mid-market hotels will give you that an extra room, one for sleeping, one for sitting, and it may give you a small kettle and fridge and services. Luxury hotel, these world-class service providing restaurant, lounges. Restaurant is where you go and eat, lounge is just you can go and relax, you can eat, you can have a drink, you can just lounge around. Concierge, I had given you the spelling. Concierge service is the porterage at the end of the door. They are called concierge and they do all the work for you. Meeting rooms, dining facilities, bath linen is provided to the guest and is replaced accordingly. In the 5-star hotels, your bed sheets and your towels and napkins are changed every day. In the small hotels, it may be only for the stay, one for the stay, or maybe after 2-3 days they may change it. But here, every day your room is clean and every day your bath and your bed linen is changed. These guest rooms contains furnishing, artwork, and prime market for hotels art. So they have a lot of beautiful furnishing. They have a lot of artwork, paintings, and artifacts in the room, and are a main hotel for celebrities, business executives, and high-ranking political figures. Example, Hyatt Regency in New Delhi. Also, when you join the airline, you will be staying in one of these hotels, luxury hotels in 5-star. So those who are flying will generally be part of that. The airline makes a contract with them for that many blocking, say 10 rooms, 15 rooms every single day, because every single day there is a crew which comes and goes like a chain reaction. So we have fixed hotels. We make a contract for 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, depending on the management. And generally it is closer to the airport, but sometimes they're in the city as well. If they are closer to the airport hotels give you a shuttle to go to the city for shopping and bring you back. They give you that also. Based, I think, take a 5-minute break and I'll come back to you again. Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. We'll do that, take a 5-minute break and I'll come back. So the next is based on the length of the stay. Hotels can be classified into transient, residential, and semi-residential hotels depending on the stay of the guest. So what is a transient hotel? These are hotels where the guest stays for a day or even less. Maybe 12 hours, 15 hours, anything before catching a connecting flight. Now he probably just wants to rest and have a bath and change his clothes and feel fresh. So person can stay there. They are usually 5-star hotels. The occupancy rate is also usually very high. These hotels are situated near the airport. Residential hotels, these are hotels where a guest can stay for a minimum period of 1 month or up to a year. The rent can be paid on monthly or quarterly basis. They provide a sitting room, bedroom and a kitchenette. So it is like a service apartment, a residential hotel. Semi-residential hotel, these hotels incorporate features of both transient and residential hotels, means they also, semi-residential are also for resident travelers and for travelers who want to move away after one night of stay. Based on theme. Depending on theme, hotel may be classified into heritage hotels, ecotels, boutique hotels and spas. So what is the difference? The heritage hotel, in this hotel a guest is graciously welcomed, offered a room that have their own history, means if it's like a palace like Udaipur, Samudra Palace or whatever, some king might have stayed there, queen might have lived there, and that room, it might be her room or the prince's room. It will have a history behind it. So that history, they have their own, then they serve traditional cuisine. Means if it's in Rajasthan, like Jaipur in Rajasthan, you get Rajasthani food. And you will have the folk artist entertaining you, like the, you have these, can you all see this? Can you all see the screen? Yeah. Like, like dances like Ghumar and all these traditional things are shown to them in the Udaipur Lakepur Palace, in these heritage hotels. Will have this kind of entertainment. Okay, they try to give you a feel of what it is to be, what it was in the king's time, the queen's time, how it was the hotel, and they try to give you that feeling. So these hotels put up their best to give a glimpse of their region. Also, if it's from Rajasthan or whichever state, they give you the feeling of that state. For example, Jai Mahal Udaipur, Jai Mahal Palace, Udaipur. This is converted into a hotel now, and it's become a 5-star hotel in Jaipur, which was earlier a palace. So this is your Jai Mahal Palace. It's a heritage hotel. They play chess like this. This is chessboard. Here you have weddings and receptions are held. Weddings they give it out for weddings. This is how it looks at night. Beautiful. So these are the heritage. Ecotels. Ecotels are environment-friendly hotels that these hotels use eco-friendly items in the room. For example, Orchid Mumbai is Asia's first and most popular 5-star eco-hotel. It's a very expensive hotel in Bombay, and they use, everything is eco-friendly. Everything is made out of eco-friendly materials, so it's one of the, even the food and everything. Boutique hotels. This hotel provides exceptional accommodation, furniture in a themed and a stylish manner, and caters to corporate travelers. Corporate travelers are those who travel for business. For example, the Park Bangalore is a boutique hotel. Let's see Park Bangalore. Park Bangalore, it's a boutique hotel. Can you see it? Booking me a hotel also. This would be the room. The restaurants and the poolside. This is your Park Hotel. Okay? Boutique hotel. They are more expensive. So, spas, a resort which provide therapeutic bath and massage along with features of luxury hotels in India. Anand Spa in Himalaya is the most popular spa. Spa is where you go for rejuvenation, you're feeling good, you have aches and pains, you want your massages, you want your medicinal baths and all that, therapies for body, bones, whatever, then in that case you book such hotels. Let's see Anand Spa. This is your Ananda in the Himalayas. This is where you go, you do your yoga. You can swim. Also not very cheap, quite expensive. This is how it looks. It's beautiful. You can just go and breathe some fresh air, you do some meditation, yoga, some exercising. You can have your massages or medicinal massage. You can do swimming. All these things are done there. So these are spas. Based on target market. When you want to target a certain market, then the hotels depend on that. You want the business travelers, or you want transit people, then you go to the airport. You want business travelers, then you go to the main points in the city. You want shoppers, you go to another part of the city. It all depends, okay? So commercial hotel, they are situated in the heart of the city in busy commercial areas so as to get a good and high business. They cater to mostly businessmen. Then you have convention hotels. These hotels have very large convention complex and cater to people attending a convention or a conference. You have these convention hotels. This is the Leela Convention Hotel again, the Leela. You have large convention halls where people can hold their meetings. These are the convention halls. These are convention halls where all the meetings take place, the important business meetings, etc. Again, 5-star hotel and convention center in the Leela. So all these are convention centers. Next example, the Meridian Cochin is the hotel with the largest convention center in South India. Let us see that also. This is your Le Meridian in Kochi, with the largest convention center in India. I can't seem to. And you'll see the largest convention hotel. I don't know if I can see the convention hall. Huge place in Kochi. Then we come to resort hotels. Again, these are leisure hotels. These are targeting vacationers, means people who are on vacation, who want to relax and enjoy with their family. The Meridian attracts people who want to have large meetings, conventions. These are these are for businessmen who want to be in the heart of the city. Resorts, hotels are mainly for people who are on vacation and want to enjoy. The occupancy varies per season. So mainly you will have occupancy only in the months where you have leave, like children have leave in the month of May, summer holidays, and the winter holidays in December, Christmas holidays, or Diwali holidays. That is the time people go here. The atmosphere is more relaxed. Sorry. These are spread out in vast areas, so many resorts have solar-powered carts for transport of the guests. They are huge, so they will have solar-powered carts. Let me see if I can show you a picture. These are the... So to transport people, they use this. They use the solar power. So people, what happens is they have huge areas, so it's very difficult to walk in a resort that much. So they have these carts to transport you from one place to another. So all these are carts. here for many more people to go on a, it's like a bus ride. These are all cards. This is solar panel, solar powered cards. They take you all around, so you don't have to, especially in the golf clubs. So they are spread out in vast areas, so many because the resort hotels is usually huge area, so people can't walk that much, so that is the reason they have the solar. Suite hotels, these offer rooms that may include a small kitchenette. They cater to people who are relocating as like lawyers, executives who are away from home for a long business day and they miss home food, so they probably want to cook their own food. So let's see suite hotels. Any questions so far? Anything you all have not understood? Want me to repeat?
No, ma'am.
All okay? Anybody has any questions? Yes, tell me.
No.
Nothing? You understood everything? Okay. These are suites. And you do not pronounce it as suit. It is suite, pronounced as S-W-E-E-T. So it will have a bedroom, a sitting room, and it will also have a kitchenette. So those are your suites. This is the sitting room, receiving guest. This is the bedroom to sleep. So they can receive. It's a suite. Suite has, it's like a one bedroom and a small kitchen. Again, bedroom, your TV, your work table. This is your balcony. This is generally a suite hotel. Casino hotels. There are a lot of people who like to gamble, especially in Las Vegas. People go there especially to gamble. There are casinos there which are open 24 hours. They do not ever shut down, not even in the night. They are open whole night. People are gambling whole night, drinking, eating, restaurants. So Las Vegas is famous for that in USA. So hotels with predominantly gambling facilities comes under this category. They're casino hotels. So they gamble, drink, sleep, go up and sleep, come down, gamble, drink, sleep. This is what they do. They have a guest room, food and operation too. These hotels tend to cater leisure and vacation travelers. These are leisure and vacation travelers with a lot of money to gamble. So gambling activities are at some casino hotels operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Can you see here, Sahara Las Vegas, $1,270 a night. So this is, these are all casinos. You can see different casinos, this one. This casino is called Circus. This is Las Vegas. This is a Paris Eiffel Tower. They have made one. This is also a casino. These are all casinos. It's a predominantly casino area. So this is how people gamble on this. Full night it's open, and they stay in the hotels up there, and down at the casinos they gamble in the night. So these are all casinos with rooms behind. In one casino. This is how the casino is from inside. These are gambling tables. All night the cashier is here. You take money, get money. On these machines as well. Las Vegas, Nevada. This is how it looks at night. It's entirely full of casinos. It's another casino. You can see this. People here, whole night, day, morning, they gamble. So this is how they gamble. This is casinos. So major Indian hotels, chains. You have given you the name, Taj View Hotel Agra, Taj Residency, West End, Bangalore. You have in Calcutta. These are chain hotels because they are everywhere. Fisherman's Cove, Chennai, Madurai, Nasik, Kannur, Ernakulam, Goa, Fort Aguada. You have in Rambagh Palace. These are Rambagh Palace, Jaipur. Again, these are heritage hotels. Jai Mahal, Raj Mahal, Ramgarh Palace, Taj Palace. All these. President. All these are again Lake Palace. Udaipur is a floating hotel. You have the famous hotels here. Taj, Banjara, Hyderabad, Lake Palace. You have Oberoi's, another famous chain. You have Ashok Hotel, another famous chain. Huge. You have so many hotels of Ashok in India. You have Trident, Agra, Khajuraho, Jaipur, Udaipur. You have Sheraton, Mughal Sheraton, Uttar Pradesh, Bangalore, Chennai, Port Blair, Thiruvananthapuram, Delhi, everywhere. So with that, we finish our first module. Okay? Any questions on the first module? Anybody wants to know anything? Any questions, guys? Any questions? Anybody? Nothing? All understood? Everything? Shall I move to the next module?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hotel industry also hires a lot of staff to run the hotels, the 5-star. You have every scope to get promotions. Pay is also very good. And every department is there to handle. You can join any other department and go towards becoming a manager. So this is how the departmental structure works. You have on top general manager. You have audit, front desk. This is where the reception is. Housekeeping, the department which looks after the maintenance of the rooms, hotels, everything. Whether it's electrical, whether it's plumbing, whether it's rooms upkeeping, the linen, the bath, everything. Maintenance and sales. Then you have another general manager, one below him who looks after the rooms, food and beverage, human resources, marketing and sales, accounting. In rooms comes reservations first, as a person has to reserve a room. Front office is where when your guest walks in, the first place he goes to is the front office. Housekeeping is the ones who look after the rooms, the cleaning or part of it. There is laundry service for people who want to give their clothes for laundry. There is security. We need security for the room so that nobody enters your room while you're not there, takes your stuff, robs your stuff, plus misbehaves. So we need security. We need engineering in case anything is not working. Your phone is not working, your Wi-Fi is not working, your other mechanics are not working. Your PBX means the phone board. In food and beverages comes food production, food services, room service, beverage manager, convention and catering, stewarding. So you have first where you're going to get your food from, the production. Then you have food services. What are the first services you'll be giving? You'll be giving Chinese, you'll be giving Indian, you'll be giving different types of meals. Whether you'll be giving room service, you have to give room service for people who wish to dine in their rooms. They don't want to come down to the restaurant, they order their meal in the room, on the phone. Always room service is charged little extra for bringing to your room. Beverage manager is the one who manages all the stocks of the beverages, the soft drinks and the liquor. Convention, whenever there is a convention in the hotel, there is a big meeting, a group meeting. He has to look after the convention people and see that the food and drinks are arranged for the meeting. Stewarding is people who serve. We need a lot of people to serve as well, so that department is also there. Then you come to HR, human resources, employee, how many employees we need, how many in each department, recruitment, how recruitment of people, salary, everything, benefits as a manager, training program. They need to train the people. Even if you get a job tomorrow, You'll be trained according to hotel, according to airport, everything needs training. So it will have to be done. Marketing and sales, we have sales managers who try to go to corporates and say, please come to our hotel and stay. This is the facility. We'll give you cheaper rooms. We'll give you Wi-Fi. We'll give you this. We'll give you convention center. This is how they get their sales. You need to keep your rooms occupied to make a profit and to pay so many staff. You need to make that. So for that, you need people to come to your hotel. And how will they come? They will only come when you give them some good facilities, discounts, and best of service. Always remember, passenger wants more than he pays for. So whatever he pays for, still he wants extra service. So that extra mileage you have to go. Whether it's the airline or it's a hotel, it's the same industry. In accounting, you have assistant controllers, finance operations, purchasing people who purchase stuff, storeroom who have to store things, food and beverage controller, credit systems, all this comes in accounting. So you can also, if you have done your BCom with accountancy, you can apply here. If you want to go into sales, you can apply here and become a sales manager. If you want to become a stewarding you want to do, or you want to become a beverage manager, you have to learn about beverage. You have to learn about food. And here in front office, most of you can be hired in front office because you have to face the guests, you know how to speak, you have to learn how to reserve, how to be friendly and sweet so that they come to you again. So lot of job opportunities in hotels as well. You will start as a trainee and go on to become a manager, general manager also. And pay scale goes up with that. Each department in the hotel has a role to play in delivering quality services and products to its guests. And to provide these products and services, the hotel has been broken down into various sections, and each department has a set of specific tasks to undertake in order to please the guest. Below mentioned is the list of various departments in a hotel. First is F&B. In short, it is called F&B, stands for food and beverage. Employs the most number of people out of the entire hotel, provides food and beverage to guests in the hotel. Also is included in cafes, restaurants, clubs, bar, poolside bar, lounge, banquets, meetings, events, private functions, and finally room service. They have so many outlets, cafes, restaurants, clubs, poolside bar, lounges, banquets. They need a lot of serving staff for them, so food and F&B hires the maximum staff here. Then you come to the kitchen. Their role is preparing food for the guests. Believe me, the people who prepare the food, the chefs, are the most highly paid people in the industry. The most highly paid. Preparation, cooking, baking, putting in the finishing touches, all this is done in the department and then transferred to the relevant department. So not only cooking, baking, making pastries, this, that, desserts. You have to be a very good chef. People who like cooking can opt to be a chef, and the chefs are one of the most highest paid in the hotel line. Steward, you all must have seen Sanjeev Kapoor. You must have heard of him. He started from Centaur itself, a hotel called Centaur, and now you know where he is. Stewarding department handles the cleanliness of cutleries, utensils, hand washing, polishing, cleaning of cutleries and utensils. So that is stewarding department for you. Front office is where all of you can also work. One of the basic needs, shelter and security. It is associated with hotel rooms, housekeeping, concierge. You are handling front office, handles everything. The concierge desk is just there. So they handle that. They handle the housekeeping. They want to tell them to. So back office roles are reservation clerk. They handle the phone of all the guests also and of all reservations also. Front office roles are guest relations, cashier, night auditor. They handle guest check-in and check-out, guest account and guest inquiries. So after you join as a front office person, you become a front office manager or a lobby manager as they call it, and that's one stepping stone towards success. Concierge, they handle or manage many guest inquiries. Valet parking, they take your cars and park it. They handle valet parking. They handle guest luggage, handle incoming and outgoing mails. Okay, so anybody's letters, parcels, they handle. Housekeeping, responsible for maintaining clean standards of guest rooms and public areas. Responsible for staff uniforms and laundry services. Maintenance and engineering, manage day-to-day maintenance issues that rise. No direct contact with guests. They don't have any contact with guests. Fix anything that is broken or faulty, television, chairs, bulbs, etc. Then you have financial control, management of revenue received and expenses. Person who does the financial control has to see the amount of money that comes in and goes out, incurred by the hotel. Have no direct contact with guests. Conduct random check on various department expenses. They are the ones who control the finance, so they have to keep a tab of all the money that goes in and goes out. So they give random checks to any department that is there, and they check that the money is properly going in the right direction. They may sub-departments handling the purchase of food or items by various. They may give the purchase of food and beverages to another department to handle it because they are seeing the overall control of the finance. Sales and marketing, they handle advertisements, promotions for various departments in the hotel. Suppose there's a cafe in the hotel which is very popular by youngsters and all, then they advertise and they give you some promotion and say, oh, use our cafe in this. So their job is to see how best they can get business. Create and design brochures, menus, wine list, and so on. Responsible for increasing sale through attracting new and repeat business, and responsible for room and banquet service. So their job is the toughest because they have to get business. If they don't get business, we don't get salaries. Just like in the aircraft, we need seats to be sold. If there are passengers traveling, we get our money. If no passengers, no money. Same in the hotel line. It's absolutely same. One is on ground and one is in the air. That's the only difference. Human resources to recruit new staff, provide training staff, to reward the staff when they do well, and to conduct performance appraisal to see that who is doing well. To organize, because all this goes into your file, and this is how when the promotion comes up, your file is open and seeing your appraisal reports. To organize induction program, handle staff welfare benefits. So new induction, new programs, and to handle staff benefits also. I would like to stop here today. We still have, okay, I'll just, food and beverage department. Then you have food and beverage director. You have assistant food and beverage director. Below him, administrative assistant. Below that, room service manager, beverage manager, chef. Chef is the cook, steward, the one who serves. Executive chef. Executive chef is higher than him. Catering manager, restaurant manager. Below them, creative sales associates, servers, bar persons, stewards, sous chef. Sous chef means, sous is a word in French which means under. So sous chef means the one like an assistant who cuts and gives you, like that, like you all are with your parents, right? You chop and give, same. So he cuts and cleans everything and keeps it ready for the steward to just come and make it. Service managers, captains, servers, people who serve. You have cooks, you have housemen, clean, everything. So this is the hierarchy. The food and beverage division is responsible for all the dining rooms, restaurants, bars, galleys, kitchens, clean-up provisions. the food and beverage director runs this department. So this person, this food and beverage department director, he has so many people working under him which he has to handle. The food and beverage director runs this department. The dining room manager or maitre d' takes care of seating arrangement services and oversees the wait staff for the main restaurant. So room manager, takes care of the other things. I'd like to show you the housekeeping. Nevaka, this is your five-star. You have all the towels and bed sheets and the stuff. The cleaners come like this to each room to clean the rooms. They replace the bed sheets. They make up. This make up my room is a card which the guest puts outside on the door handle. If they say this make up my room means they want their room clean. If they don't want their room touched, they put a do not disturb. So when there's a makeup room, here the lady is training everybody how to put the sheets, how to make it look beautiful, because the place should look attractive. He's arranging them. They are the housekeeping department. This is your concierge. Can you see this? Concierge table. This is your concierge. They hand you the keys sometimes. Your mails, your luggage. They have a computer. They can guide you in anything you want, whether you want to go out somewhere, you want a taxi, you want a parcel to be dropped, you want your parcel to be picked up, you want some other information, they can give you any other information. Concierge again. So it does not mean only the porter, this is the concierge people. Concierge. Okay. Then room service. This is how room service comes in the room. Your table with all your breakfast items and food. You can sit in your room and you can eat. Your food comes covered like this. We saw the icon, right? The food icon in the first half. This is your breakfast: tea, coffee, orange juice, eggs. This is in-room dining. These are the kind of restaurants we get down. We have many restaurants like this. And you have the bars in the restaurant. These are all the 5-star restaurants and bars where you can spend an evening. Yeah. Then we have the chefs and the sous chef. They not only serve your food, but they have to present it well. It has to look nice. It has to, what they call eye appeal. It has to have eye appeal. If the person looking at it should say, wow, I would love to eat this. It should be decorated in that way, so that eye appeal should be there. Like this. They decorate it and they send it. And these, as I told you, are the most heavily paid staff of the hotel. The ones who like to cook. Okay. Then I'll show you front office. This is your front office. This will be the front office where you go to check in. The front office customer comes to check in. So you'll have a concierge somewhere at the side here. And this is the check-in. This is check-in. This is lobby manager sitting here in the lobby, and he'll also guide you for things. Concierge should be somewhere around. Travelers coming. People checking in. This is how you have to check in. Your front office. This is your airport shuttle, hotel shuttle to and from the airport. They have these small buses. It says shuttle to and from Manhattan airports. This is from in New York. They have small shuttles in hotels. Let me see, in India. And here, all shuttles from to and from the airport. So that, what else I need to cover with you all? I've shown you all most of the stuff. So we stopped today at food. We stop at food. We'll start from food tomorrow. So can you see me? Has it stopped sharing?
No, ma'am.
No.
Now it.
Now it stopped?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So all of you, we finished till then from food tomorrow, same time probably, and we'll continue the rest. Meanwhile, make a list of the hotels, 5-star hotels. Try to find names of 4 5-star hotels, 4 4-star, 4 3-star, 4 2-star in India. Let me see how many you can get. Also, find one of spa, one of this thing, not the ones given in the book, anything beyond the book. Okay? And
Sure, ma'am.
so that is your assignment only, and then we'll go ahead tomorrow with this. Okay?
Ma'am.
Anything?
Yes,
any
thank you,
questions
ma'am.
before you go? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Nice to know that. Anything
Thank
you
you,
have, keep it in mind. Anything you just go through it once, and anything you have not understood, just write it down. You can ask me tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am. Okay.
Bye. Take care. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Nice to see you all also. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.